Good morning. Few questions. Suicide. Do you believe suicide is a cop-out? Is suicide a selfish act? Is suicidal thoughts a cry for help? You know, I'm looking for answers. Being of my age now, people that's new to my channel, I'm 49, be 50 in about 11 days. I've had multiple times that I've had suicidal thoughts, starting early, at an early age of like 15. And every now and then, the way my life is going, I'll have those thoughts. I've been close. I've been pretty close that I've almost gone there, but I try to look at the positive outlooks, and I also think about my loved ones and how it would affect them. So, and I look at it as being selfish for myself, but how do you feel about that? Do you think it's selfish to take your own life? Being resilient is hard. Life is hard. Childhood trauma was a big cause for me to have suicidal thoughts. Previous videos, I talked about being molested, and I talked about growing up in poverty. But it's just, I know that's definitely been a catalyst to why I feel the way I feel sometimes. It's, you look at life from a different lens. Sometimes it's envy, sometimes it's jealousy. Like I said, just growing up, just seeing how, feeling unloved. You could work your ass off to try to be the best person you can and to be successful, and it just doesn't go your way sometimes. It's always a roadblock. It's always some type of impediment that'll stop you from getting where you want to go. And it gets depressing, It's not, and I'm not just talking about myself. I have a few people, a real close friend that's going through some things, and he's older. He's 40, 41, and he's down on himself, and he compares his life to his family members that are successful in his eyes, because everybody's success is different, so when you look at someone else's life or other people's lives, and it affects how you look at yourself, and you put yourself down, it's a no-win situation, because I don't care how good things are for you, there's always going to be somebody that's doing better. You can be rich, there's always somebody richer. You could have a good family, and there's people out there with great families. So comparing yourself to other people is not fair to yourself, and it's never going to be a win situation. But just sometimes I'm looking for answers that no matter what people say, it's still not going to be good enough. I've been blessed to have a friend talk me off the ledge at an early age. My friend Lauren, I was about 17 years old, and this is the time of no cell phones. I remember being on a payphone with her, dropping quarter after quarter, dime after dime, nickel after nickel, staying on the phone, and her talking me off the ledge. That was the closest I was going to do it. It was gonna happen. And she was a blessing to me. And to be honest, it's humbling to think about. And she was younger than me as well. If I was 17, she was 15, or something like that. And she had the wherewithal to understand the severity of the situation. And the thing was, she didn't really know why I felt the way I felt, why I was going through what I was going through. But her words and her caring, was so important to me. Growing up without feeling love from family members, my mom in general, that was a huge deal. So having someone, I think at that time, my ex-girlfriend had cheated on me. My first girlfriend, my first love. And we broke up. And based off what I went through prior to that, I was done. And it's hard to put into words, but I don't want to keep babbling because I don't have these things written down. I'm just speaking from the heart. And, I'm looking for answers. And also, I want to give help. Hopefully, my testimony can help someone out there. Because I know for a fact I'm not the only one that's been going through these things and having these thoughts and fighting this battle. So in the description below, I'm going to put, Suicidal Hotline, and hopefully someone can see this and it can help them. Reach out in my comments. If I can help someone, I will. I'm not afraid to put myself out there. And of course, if you're going through these things yourself, please post a comment, judge-free zone. God forbid we get some negative comments, which we might because of social media. I'll just delete it and block. But once again, I appreciate, you tuning in and being supportive. Thank you so much. God bless. Like and subscribe.